Why do you think that people are judged based on their appearance and beliefs and sometimes treated differently because of them?
I think people are judged this way because of stereotypes. Society seems to have categorized each group of people and placed labels upon them, causing people to jump to conclusions. Those who treat others differently based off of one's appearance cannot be justified. There is no excuse for this, although I believe it takes place because some people have trouble understanding others who are different from them.
As a volunteer, do you feel like you have certain responsibilities? Like what?
Yes, I do believe that volunteers have responsibilities. In my case, while working with children, it's important to remember that we need to set a good example. Kids often look up to teenagers and want to mimic them, so setting a good example by treating everyone equally, obeying rules, and being kind are absolutely necessary.
Do you believe that not helping someone is the equivalent to being a bystander of bullying?
I think not helping someone when you're perfectly capable of doing so is basically bystanding. Not necessarily in bullying, but they are both demonstrations of ambivalence. So yes, I do believe ambivalence is bad in most circumstances.
Do you believe that religious ways should become more modern along with our evolving society?
Everyone has their own beliefs and follow religion or maybe none at all. There's nothing wrong with having different faiths, but I do believe that it starts to become a problem when people are neglected or frowned upon for things such as homosexuality and race, where some religions have strong oppositions against these things. In present day, I believe that we should perhaps alter some old ideas into understanding that it's okay to not always agree with others and that everyone deserves to be treated equally.
Do you believe that mandatory volunteering should take place in schools? Why or why not?
Although it sort of defeats the purpose of the act of volunteering, I do think that mandatory volunteering should take place in schools. It could be an eye-opener to those who never thought twice about doing such a thing, and I believe that it could alter teenagers' values for the better.
Why does volunteerism need to be carried on in the future?
Volunteerism needs to be carried on in the future for the sake of humanity. Helping one another is a must. Without helping others, I don't think humans would last, because of how self-absorbed we can be sometimes. Volunteering is also a good way of keeping us grounded, and it helps us keep our priorities in check.
Why is it that we need others' approval to feel confident?
I believe we seek others' approval to feel confident because we want to fit in. We want to have things in common with others, and that's often why some people tend to become followers, since they feel more comfortable mimicking someone else rather than being an original, and not necessarily accepted among social crowds.
Would walking in a less fortunate man's shoes cause you to rethink some of your life choices? If so, which?
I think doing so would help anyone understand how truly lucky we are, and that we shouldn't take the little things for granted. I personally am extremely thankful for everything and everyone in my life, but it's hard to know what it's like living someone else's life, therefore difficult to compare.
Do you think that you should always stand up for what you believe in, no matter the consequence?
Yes, I believe it's very important to fight for what you believe in. In history, if some people such as Rosa Parks or Martin Luther King Jr. hadn't challenged popular beliefs, then perhaps things would have not changed, and society could have still been segregated, for example. We should all have a chance to voice our thoughts and beliefs and stand behind them at all times, no matter what.
What advice would you give to the students that will volunteer next year for outreach?
I would recommend choosing something out of their comfort zone to challenge them and maybe give them a chance to discover a true passion that they never knew they had, like working with animals or helping teachers in an elementary school. Another piece of advice would be to enjoy every second of their placement because it doesn't last very long and that they really do make a difference in the lives of the people that they helped.